This is how you can download and use Translation Manager to translate your site from start to finish. First things first, you need to install Umbraco. To do this, open the command line and type in .NET new install umbraco.templates : 16 ... This will install the latest version 16 Umbraco templates onto your computer. When you create an Umbraco site, it will be from this version. From here, you can make your site. To do this, type .NET new Umbraco -n and then the name of your site, for example, -n My Umbraco website. This will create a folder, My Umbraco website, that will hold all the files needed to run your Umbraco site. Next, enter cd space dot and then your site name, for example, cd space dot / My Umbraco website / to make sure that you are in the right folder. If you already have content ready for translation, you don't need to do this step, but if you want to see how it works without creating pages and pages of placeholder content, you can type .NET add package clean to get a clean starter kit with sample configuration and content. Then it's finally time to add Translation Manager. To add it into your Umbraco site, type .NET add package jumu.translation manager. This will add the Translation Manager package to your site. Now that you have a site, you can type .NET run to be able to use the back office. When it is finished, click the localhost link to open the site in your browser. Enter a name, email and password and configure your settings to your liking. So, your Umbraco Insight is installed and running locally on your computer. Now you are in the back office. Next, you should go to Settings, click on Languages and add a language to your site. To do this, click the Create button at the top of the screen. Click on your main content tree and duplicate it. In the Duplicate To box, select Content. Then select Include Descendants and Relate to Original. Include Descendants means your duplicated site will include all the pages under your main content page in the tree. Relate to Original means that Umbraco will store a link in the database between each original bit of content and the new copy. Translation Manager uses this to know where the translated content should go when it is returned. Click Save and Publish. Make sure your site will work on the internet. Click on the 3 dots next to your new site version and click Culture and Host Names. No need to select a language right now. The default inherit setting should be fine. Then click on Add New Domain and add a domain tag like /en or /fr. Make sure your domain language is right. To see these new host names in action, go to Info and click the link to your site. When you have a website with multiple languages, you must tell Umbraco what the URL for each language should be. Now it is time to find a connector. Translation Manager manages the translation of the content in your site from one language to another, but how you translate it is up to you. For more information on connectors, watch our other tutorials, or visit docs.jumu.co.uk for the Translation Manager documentation. Now you have chosen and set up your connector, it's time to create a translation set. Translation sets organise how translations are managed on your site. A translation set has one master site or language, and one or more target locations where translated text goes when it is returned from translation. To create a translation set, go to Settings and go to Sets in the Translation Manager tree. Click on Create Set and select your main site. This is the version of the site you will be translating from. Make sure you tick the Target Language box. Then select the site you want to translate to. This time you might need to select your chosen language in the drop-down. At this point, you can select your chosen connector in the connector settings, but you can also select your connector when you send to translate. Make sure to give your set a name and click Save, and then you're free to move on to translation. To send to translation, click on the dots beside your main content page to open your options and click on Send to Translation. This will open the Create Translations sidebar. Here, you will probably want to make sure Include Children and Create Job are ticked. Then you can click Create. You can choose your connector if you haven't already. If you have, your chosen connector will already be selected. Click on Create again to create a translation job. Once this is complete, you can click View Job, and you will be taken to the Translation tab to see the translation job. A translation job contains the items you were sent for translation and some configuration that will help the connector and the translator translate your site. You can click on any item in this list to see it in more detail. The translation section of your Umbraco site allows you to keep track of translation jobs as they progress through the various stages. There are 4 stages: pending, submitted, received, and approved. Pending is where content that has been sent to translation with no jobs created have ended up. Most people do not use this feature, so you don't need to worry about it. Usually, you will submit a translation job and it will go straight into submitted. This is when you need to bring your translators in. If your site is being translated by translators, this is where the files that need translating will come from, and where the translated files should be uploaded. If you are using machine translation, you will have to follow the process for your connector. Once your content has been returned translated, it will go into received. Here, you can check and review all your content. When the job is in received, the content is in the Translation Manager area of the site, but not in your Umbraco content tree. Once all your content is as it should be, you can click on Approve. Approve will move the content from the Translation Manager area of the site back into the Umbraco content tree, and your content will be saved in Umbraco. If you select Approve and Publish, it will also be published onto your website. Now you have a shiny new translated site. Hooray!